There's one more thing I want to say. There is one more thing I want to say about Droll and Lockbird. Because I really do think that Droll and Lockbird in this current format, overall, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks, and I'm like 99% sure that I'm just not gonna play it. And the reason is not because of those last couple games. And I really want to encourage you guys to not do that. Like, just play like 2 or 3 games and be like, yeah, Droll was never good, so I'm gonna cut it. The reason why I'm saying I think the card sucks is not because I just played 3 games with it and it was bad. The reason why I'm saying it sucks is because what happened in this last couple games is what always happens when you main deck Droll and Lockbird. That's what always happens. That's what Droll and Lockbird does. It's not something that, like, and that's where solid logic comes in, right? You just have to apply some logic to the card. You're like, you see a couple games with the card and you're like, yeah, that's what it does. Not seeing it, no. The card is not consistent. It's not consistent because it depends too much on what your opponent does. If you look at a card like Ash or Imperm, that card will always do the same thing. Droll and Lockbird depends way too heavily on your opponent's deck, hand, and the way they play. Because even if you play against something like Runic, if your opponent is good and they use the first Runic spell in the draw phase, your Droll is still bad. Even if you're playing against Runic Naturia, you still lose. Like, Droll is still not good. It's not a consistent card. And I think especially in a deck like Sprite, which is supposed to be a super consistent deck, I think that is not the card you want. There might be decks and formats where you need such a high variance type of card, but the current format is not one of those. The current format is not that. Only because the card feels good if your opponent starts with Prosperity and Kashira does not mean the card is an auto-include. I don't think it's Droll and Lockbird. I really don't think it's Droll and Lockbird. You could side it. But I don't know.